Hello Internet. Thought I'd take a break. It's the July 4th weekend, and interesting irony, if you want to call it that, or interesting fact, I'm in Vermont. Across the river is New Hampshire, and the river is actually the Connecticut River. So go figure. Anyway, working my way to a place called the Vermont Inn. For the next several nights I'm going to stay there and do day loops out in Vermont, riding that way. Yesterday was an interesting day. Obviously, if you watched the previous episode, you saw the route up to Mount Washington, 6,288 feet, I believe, and it's I think it holds the record of the strongest natural wind speed recorded in North America at 231 miles an hour, I believe it was, back in the 1930s. Pretty impressive. The ride up was very interesting. The only time I ever had concerns was crazy people in cars going a little bit too fast and kind of drifting over, since the road was really about a lane and a half wide. I was fine on a motorcycle, but two cars meeting, there were a few people that were riding with their wheels right on the edge. And again, if you watch the video, you could see there were some spots where you were kind of looking out, and it was a bad day if you went off the road. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. Previously in the day, yesterday, I was riding through Bangor, Maine, and it was just one of these outer loops of town. It wasn't like downtown streets, and I was going about 45, and cruising along, and this guy pulls out from the left side out of a gas station without any warning, just pulls out into my lane. I had to hit the brakes pretty hard, went from 45 down to about 20 in about a half a second, and it's like, okay, I didn't even flip him the bird. I thought about it, but it was like, whatever, but I definitely had to brake hard, shift down a couple of gears. About a half mile later, or less than that, a cop pulls around from behind me. I didn't know he was behind me. He lights him up, pulls this guy over, because apparently the cop must have had to brake really hard too. So it's like, thank you, karma. Sometimes it works. I was really glad that the Maine police were on the job. Anyway, I also stayed in a really beautiful spot last night. I'll put a picture up. It was actually a house built back in 1902 by the Baldwin family. Apparently the Baldwin piano business was very profitable in the late 1800s, so they could afford to build this house. And beautiful house. Didn't take any pictures of the inside, but just gorgeous original stuff. What can I say? It was a lovely spot. It was kind of a treat to myself after a couple of days on the farm. And a little helicopter flying over, of course. Anyway, today just shot some video while I was out riding through the Kanc, is what they call it, the Kancamagus Highway. I'm not sure I can say it right ever. Doesn't matter, but it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. Just enjoyed the ride, and now I'm kind of on the last little part, but I'll fill in with some video here and there on my way to my place I'm staying for the next couple of nights. Anyway, that's it. Well, I'm here at the Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Historic Park. Had a fascinating conversation with one of the park rangers here, whose wife actually does adventure outings with my wife's cousin Peta up in Ely, Minnesota. And he's been there many, many times, so it's kind of ironic being here in Vermont. Anyway, this particular place is beautiful, but it's all about conservation, about restoring a lot of the deforested areas here in Vermont. Some of the early efforts, both good and bad. Just kind of did a quick walkthrough tour of the mansion here behind me. Amazing. Wood definitely was the way you built things inside. Everything is wood trimmed, but it's just a random stop on my way to the inn in Vermont for tonight, and so glad I did.